followed by the New World Order.
Oh, you didn't know?
You ready? Let's go!
Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Eat me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are tuned in to the most electrifying podcast in all of Fat Cat Radio. You are listening to the Sportswire. I am Big Daddy Cool Vinny Apicella, and tonight marks a landmark night. Okay? And the reason why I say that is that this is the very last Sportswire on Fat Cat Radio. And the reason why, there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, as you all know, April 1st, 2016 is when we launch Black Line Entertainment and Sports Network right here on courtesy of Spreaker. Okay? So this is the very last episode of the Sportswire. And it's the reason being that, you know what? I feel like there's been a disconnect here. Okay, but before we get into all of that, okay, let's do let's go to God. Let's give our first fruits to God. Let's go to God in prayer. Father God, I thank you. I thank you for the opportunities that you're blessing me with. I thank you for this podcast. I thank you for the time that I've been on Fat Cat Radio. I thank you for the time of just being involved with Big Lou and Twism and everybody else here on Fat Cat Radio. And I thank you for the opportunity to move on and grow with Black Lion Entertainment and Sports Network, Lord. I thank you for today. I thank you for just safe passage to and from work. I thank you definitely, Lord, for Desiree and our relationship that's growing together at a, I just thank you for putting her back in my life, Lord, and I thank you for being able to serve her and help her as much as I can with absolutely everything, Lord. I thank you for just the ability to love, Father, the ability to help. Lord, thank you so much for everything you do. I pray for this episode today that we get the highest ratings, Lord, that we get the most people listening to the Sportswire tonight, Father, as I go forth on April 1st for a new opportunity that you're providing me with. I thank you and I ask all this through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, let's get to our worship song of the day. And here's a song. It's going to be a Christian hip-hop song. It's called Better Way, right here by Bizzle, right here on the Sportswire.
Yo, whatever happened to that dream that God put in us? You know, before the world told you what you wanted to be and what you needed to do to be successful.
Cornbread.
Before you saw somebody else do it and said, you know what, I need money, I'ma do that. Before you knew what money was. And what did you want to be? And why'd you let it go? Come on.
If you're getting sick of running and tired of the hustling, go for it. I tell them go for it. You got a dream that you're chasing. Well, I think you can make it. You should go for it. I tell them go for it. Follow your dream and leave the game, please. Don't be ashamed. Anyone can change. Oh, there's a better way. There's a better way, shawty. There's a better way. Yeah, there's a better way.
Dedicated to the hustler that's sick of hustling. But won't nobody in the circle tell him give it up then. Get a new group that wanna see you shoot for the stars and 2 moons. Let them follow what you do. Hustling wasn't the plan, I know. Mother was struggling, pops wasn't a man, I know. But even though your father was not home, he left, but he's not gone. You still got a father seated on the most high throne. When you was younger, you had a dream, I know it. Selling trees of dope was just supposed to be for the moment. Keeping it going wasn't even a notion. If you believe what you hoping can be, but to be it, it needs your devotion. Media got us aiming to be American gangsters. Failing to tell us ain't no happy ending for gangsters. They dead or in jail, but it's never too late for change. You can be the one that paved the way if you ain't afraid.
Getting sick of running and tired of the hustling. Go for it, I tell them go for it. You got a dream that you're chasing, well I think you can make it, you should go for it. I tell them go for it, follow your dream. Can't leave the game, please don't be ashamed. Anyone can change. Oh, there's a better way. There's a better way. There's a better way.
This for that chick in the strip club, tired of stripping. But her love for the money tells her not to quit it. Before she hit the stage, she swallowing shots of liquor. Oh, cause somebody convinced her there wasn't no promise in her. She never saw a queen when looking inside a mirror. In search of encouragement, nobody would stop and give her. Nights she cries rivers and wonders if God forgives her. Pop's not in the picture, but gotta be a father figure. You a mold in your body, life is more than paper. I know it's something other than money that motivates you. Like what about your dreams, little mama? Cause I know this ain't what you wanted to be, little mama. But your sin has created you a lifestyle that you can't afford if you quit, so you tied down. You can be free, but it may take you giving the devil back everything he ever gave you.
You get sick of running and tired of the hustling. Go for it, I tell them go for it. You got a dream that you're chasing, well I think you can make it, you should go for it. I tell them go for it, follow your dream. Can't leave the game, please don't be ashamed. Anyone can change. Oh, there's a better way. There's a better way, shawty. There's a better way. There's a better way.
I know you get the feeling like you don't have an option, but that's just a lie they say. Cause I was on that same road, I was on this payroll, lost in the same old thing. Know that it's a better way that ain't as easy. Place your faith in the Lord, you can't believe me. I'm just telling you what I know, God is who I follow. Forget about your past, let him change your tomorrow.
If you're getting sick of running and tired of the hustling, go for it, I tell them go for it. You got a dream that you're chasing, well I think you can make it, you should go for it. I tell them go for it, follow your dream. Can't leave the game, please don't be ashamed. Anyone can change. Oh, there's a better way. There's a better way, shawty. There's a better way. There's a better way.
Cornbread.
All right, and we're back here on the Sportswire. That was Bizzle with Better Way, and I want to first of all, I gotta say this. I gotta say, I've had a good run here. Big Lou put Fat Cat Radio on the map. Okay, Big Lou was a great friend of mine, and he had a vision. He had a dream. He had a vision. I know I'm not talking about Martin Luther King, but you know what? He had a vision to help the independent artists, the independent bands, the underground hip-hop, you know, and don't get me wrong, I fully believe that independent, underground, semi-pro, minor league, they all deserve to have being bumped up to a major league level. And that's what I intend to do with Black Lion Entertainment and Sports Network. Okay? However, I look at it as me branching off and getting an opportunity to expand Big Lou's dream and vision and goal by branching off on my own, getting the backing I need. I think, I honestly feel that there's been some kind of a disconnect or break between Twism White Peace and myself. Okay? First of all, when Big Lou passed away, and we didn't know what was going to go on with Fat Cat Radio. Okay? So Twism and I kind of picked up the ball together with him running Fat Cat Radio, with the Sportswire still being one of the main programs on. We had things going, and then we grew. And we got the Connecticut Panthers on. And then we got other programs on. Okay? And I think that Fat Cat Radio could have been something great. But you know what? All of a sudden I started seeing that little by little, Fat Cat Radio was slowly migrating away from what I thought we were going to be doing. Okay? It turned into Fat Cat Radio, hot hip-hop and R&B. We've got a lot of hip-hop and R&B stations out there. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. Occasionally, I do like the hip-hop and the R&B. But you know what? That's not what everybody's listening to. And that's not what's going to really bring in the people. Okay? Because here's the deal. You got a network here, Fat Cat Radio, okay, that's playing all hip-hop and R&B all day long with every show that's on here. Then you come across the Sportswire, and while I don't always talk about sports, I don't play hip-hop all the time. I play some good hip-hop, okay? I play some old-school hip-hop. I play some, rock. I play a lot of rock. I play country. And this is going back before I had this desktop app from Spreaker, okay, back when I was using the actual Spreaker.com to broadcast the Sportswire, and I had access to the Fat Cat Radio library. I was playing the independent rock bands. I was playing Second Skin, okay? I was playing A.J. Jansen, Jenna Murata, okay? I was playing the adult contemporary. As Twism told me one time, he wanted me to stay on because I take care of the adults that listen to Fat Cat Radio. Okay, well, that's all well and good, but it doesn't fit anymore. It's like when Big Lou was running it, and he would play, he would play the hip-hop, but he would also play independent bands. Okay, whether it's country, rock, hip-hop, it doesn't matter. He played everything. I saw it slowly but surely going directly to hip-hop. Okay? And that, my friends, I'm sorry, is not me. Okay? I have no ill will against Twism White Peace. I have no ill will towards anybody. But, I saw the writing on the wall when we lost 2 of our sponsors. Stay Blessed Productions and Black Lion Entertainment Music Group. Okay? For some reason, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden they got dropped as our sponsors. So what did I do? I knew that Wayne Jones always listened to the Sportswire because he would chat with me live on the air through the chat function. Okay? I knew I still had a sponsor through Black Lion. And you know what? I thank God for that. Because God definitely works in mysterious ways and connects people that you would never, ever think possible. I like Wayne Jones. I think he's an absolute fantastic person. I've read up and read about his past, his history. I think he's a winner. And I think he's going to come out on top on everything. And you know what? That's why I had the vision to join up with him and to approach him and be like, you know what? I want to have Black Lion Entertainment Music Group or Wayne Jones Management Company. I want you guys to back me as I go for another venture into another radio station. And it's going to be great because of the simple fact that, number one, we will promote Black Lion artists. Number two, we'll have Black Lion artists sing the national anthem at semi-pro football games. It's a win-win situation. Black Lion is in New York. Twism and whatever he had is up in Canada. Up in Toronto. Which, okay, from Connecticut to Toronto is, maybe a 12, 14-hour drive. Okay, but it's not realistic. But I also saw Dean Wild, who was a big-time sponsor and friend, okay, with Big Lou. When I saw that Stay Blessed Productions had dropped out, there was something wrong. So I connected with her, and I asked her what happened. And she gave me her side of the story. That's not for me to say here. But I offered her a slot on Black Lion Entertainment and Sports Network to showcase Stay Blessed artists. Because, quite honestly, everybody deserves to get noticed. And I have no problem with playing Twism's music, but I don't have any. I don't have any because I can't download it off the Fat Cat Radio library. I went on to the Spreaker website, onto the Spreaker homepage today, and last I knew, the password was set. Okay? All of a sudden, I'm not allowed to log in. The only reason why I'm broadcasting here now is because of the desktop app that has the information saved, and I can't access anything from the app because, well, I could just broadcast from it. I can't access the analytics. I can't access anything. So I can't even go on to see how many people listened to my last podcast. Okay? I can only tell by who listens live when it gives you a little pop-up about how many people listen live. But then I went to go message Twism on Facebook. Okay? From the Sportswire page. And you know what? He dropped me as a friend. And this is the guy that said, "Don't worry, I got your back." And this is the guy that said, "You know what? We're in this together. We're gonna both bring Big Lou's dreams and make them big." And this guy dropped me as a friend. Now, I don't know whether it was a glitch in the Facebook system, but you know what? It just seems kind of suspicious that here I am trying to branch out, not even screw him over, okay, but branch out and do another network that promotes Big Lou's vision. And he disables, or he unfriends me. Now, I know Facebook's not real life. Okay? Facebook is not the government. Facebook is not real life. Facebook is merely social networking, social media. Okay? You don't live and die on Facebook. You live and die in real life. And you know what? There's been a lot that's been going on in my life as of lately that, you know what, I haven't been able to do the 10 o'clock in the morning podcast because I've been working at my other job. Okay? That's why I've been doing the 7 o'clock at night. Which, you know, works good because, you know what? Then we get the two biggest shows on Fat Cat Radio leading in. You get the Sportswire going from 7 to 8:30. Then you got Fat Cat Radio from 8:30 to 10. And it's the anchor position, the prime time anchor position for both shows. But you know what? Tonight, I saw the writing on the wall. Okay? Now, April 1st. Now, don't get me wrong. That does not mean that the Sportswire is going to stop. You know why? You want to know why? Because until April 1st, when we launch Black Lion Entertainment and Sports Network, I'll go live on YouTube. I'll go live somewhere else. But the fact of the matter is this. I saw the writing on the wall. I can take a hint. And I guess Twism is sore because I hooked up with somebody who he thought screwed him over. I don't see it that way. I don't see it. But you know what? The fact of the matter is this, okay? I don't have access to even go in, and like I said, see the analytics. I don't even have access right now to go in and delete the Sportswire's YouTube information from Spreaker so that all the Fat Cat radio stuff will still go up to the Sportswire thing. I don't have access to that. Now, this is not going to be something where I bash anybody, because you know what? I'm talking it like it is. And that's why you like tuning into the Sportswire, is because I tell it like it is. But I did promise myself, okay, that I wasn't going to get too cocky. I was going to stay humble. Because you know what? There's a lot going on for me right now. Okay? Not only did I get a promotion at work and to a new hotel, new position, okay, and I'm trying to hire people and get that working, so I'm not working 50 hours a week, and I have time for the Sportswire, and I have time for my podcast. But I also got back with my ex-girlfriend Desiree, who you've heard me talk about more than once, and I am so in love with her, and I want to spend as much time as I can with her. Okay? So that's going on for me. And I'm starting Black Lion Entertainment and Sports Network on April 1st. So with that being said, yeah, there's a lot going on. And I am happy. I am ecstatic. I am on cloud 15. Okay? I love my job. I love my podcast. I love Desiree. I'm in love with her. And I would do anything for her. So there's a lot going on for me, and I am ecstatic. I am happy. But when I get happy, in the past, I've gotten self-destructive. And I don't mean physically harmful. But you know what? Here's the deal. Okay? I vowed to myself to stay humble. To keep thanking God, because God can take everything away from me at a moment's notice. Everything. But you know what? Here's the deal. Okay? Here's the deal. Alright, I gotta back up a little bit. Because I'm getting riled up. Okay? Now, I don't know what exactly happened. And I don't know why it was lost in the translation about the password for our Spreaker account. Although, when I saw that Twism had dropped me as a friend, I saw that something was up. Okay? So, I apologize if nothing is absolutely wrong. Okay? I apologize if nothing's wrong. But I will tell you this. Usually my gut instincts are right. All right. So with that being said, and the fact of my farewell from Fat Cat, as I remark on a new venture in 6 weeks, or 5 weeks at this point. All right. So, what do we got to talk about? WWE Fastlane was the absolute worst WWE pay-per-view that I've ever seen. It was worse than any WCW produced pay-per-view ever. And those stunk. I mean, they never had good pay-per-views. Very rarely. Maybe before the Eric Bischoff era. But Eric Bischoff was so focused on ratings that he didn't focus on his pay-per-views, and they were always letdowns. And now I'm talking about Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, the entire NWO, Roddy Piper, Randy Savage, Sting, Ric Flair, all legends, all Hall of Famers. But you know what? You couldn't put it together. They couldn't put it together right. They couldn't. All right. So Fastlane in first of all, they had the United States title 2 out of 3 falls match on the preview on the kickoff show. Why? Why would you ever do that? The 2 out of 3 falls match between Alberto Del Rio and Kalisto was probably one of the better matches on the card, and you had it on the kickoff show. Why couldn't you put the freaking social outcasts, Curtis Axel and R-Truth on the kickoff show? Because that match had no business being there. Throw that on the kickoff show. Boy, I'm hot today. I do feel my inner hot rod coming out. Then you had the New Day not even defending their tag team titles on the card. You had the New Day take on, not even taking anybody on. They were on the Cutting Edge Peep Show with Edge and Christian. And then the League of Nations came out, and it was just absolutely horrible. There's no place on a pay-per-view event for that. None whatsoever. No place at all for that. You know, it's like, I understand, and they tried, I understand they're trying to make the New Day be faces. You know, but number one, you know, they're a very entertaining heel group because you love to hate them. That's the point of having a really good heel group, is that you love to hate them. But, you know, I got to say this, that they are very entertaining. Okay? I personally can't stand them, but they're very entertaining, which makes, like I said, which means they're doing their job correctly. All right, you had you had Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks taking on Tamina and Naomi, and I mean, it was a good match. It really was. It was a good match, and you know, you expected Sasha and Becky to win, which they did, because they are two of the only women wrestlers on the roster right now. You also had, let's see, Ryback, Big Show, and Kane against the Wyatt family of Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and Braun Strowman. The match was slow, which you'd expect from 6 big guys. Okay, Big Show was hardly in the match, and Big Show, Ryback, and Kane went over, which I was shocked. I thought they were trying to build Bray Wyatt up and build Braun Strowman and the Wyatt family up. But I guess, you know, one loss ain't going to kill them. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I wanted to see more of the Big Show, Braun Strowman meeting than anything else, because they're almost see eye to eye, and Big Show has never had that. Somebody see eye to eye with him. So that would have been great to delve into. Maybe they'll do it later on. I highly doubt it. But the Big Show right now is a novelty act. Okay, he comes in, he loses when he loses, or he wins, whatever he has to do. He'll be heel or face or whatever. So many heels. I mean, I think he could do it 30-something times. I think it was like 30 times since 2010. That's crazy. One guy back and forth. Chris Jericho hasn't done that. He's been both heel and face numerous times. You know? But the fact of the matter remains, Big Show needs to understand that his career is just about over. I mean, we know that already. You know, but whatever. Also on the card, you had the Intercontinental Championship match with Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. Come on, guys. Give Ziggler a break. Okay, he's lost to just about everybody on the roster now. But you know what? I will say that I am really digging Kevin Owens. He has probably come the farthest since his debut back, you know, what was it, Extreme Rules? Or not Extreme Rules. It was Payback, actually, I think. That he beat John Cena at Payback. Or Money in the Bank, or Elimination Chamber, one of those pay-per-view events. But I think he's come the farthest. I was really upset that Neville won the Best New Sensation of the Squared Circle Award, because it should have been Kevin Owens, quite honestly. Because I could seriously see Kevin Owens at WrestleMania having a WrestleMania moment with whoever they put him in there with. Whoever. Kevin Owens is just that awesome. I've also heard that Stephen Amell may don the tights again and get into the ring at WrestleMania, but more on that later. Because of the whole Stardust crashing one of his Comic-Con press conferences, or whatever the case was. Also, you had Charlotte defending her WWE Women's Championship against Brie Bella. And like I said, I refuse to say the word diva. It was probably Brie Bella's best match I've ever seen her in. She took it. She was never a technical wrestler. She was always just boobs and butt, like all the other divas in the WWE. You know, that's why she's perfect cut out for Total Divas. And honestly, she has no boobs either. But the fact remains that she is not a women wrestler. Okay? She is a diva. Which is why I would love to see the WWE get rid of the divas and bring more women's wrestlers in. But Charlotte brought her to the limit. Brie Bella took Charlotte to the limit. I will not say anything less than that. She took her to the limit. When Charlotte won, I was so happy because I wanted her to win. But the other thing that could have been done, that probably should have been done, is that Brie Bella should have won the Divas Championship, and she's going to be retiring when her contract ends, or she's going to go out because her and Daniel Bryan want to have little baby goats running around the house, and retire the Divas title with her, and therefore bring back the Women's Championship that Alundra Blaze pulled out from the garbage can at the Hall of Fame ceremony last year. That is probably what should have happened, and the best thing that could have happened. But I digress. Charlotte won the match and held on to her title. I got to give that match 5 stars. Probably the best match of the night was AJ Styles and Chris Jericho, who stole the show. I mean, they brought Jericho in to be AJ's first feud in the WWE, and they put on a clinic. If you want to become a wrestler, make sure to watch that match. Anything that you have 2 highly sound technical wrestlers in there in the ring will always be much better than 2 hulking brutes any day. Okay? Now, I would love to see AJ Styles take on Samoa Joe at WrestleMania. On the grandest stage of them all. They feuded in Ring of Honor. They feuded in TNA. They've never feuded in the WWE yet. However, Samoa Joe's on his way up to the main roster from what I have heard. Therefore, I could see that feud coming to fruition on WWE TV. So stay tuned. And then I don't even want to call it the main event. It was a letdown. Because we knew what was going to happen going in. We knew that Roman Reigns was slated to face Triple H at WrestleMania. What we didn't know was that they were going to change Brock Lesnar's WrestleMania booking. And they now have him taking on Dean Ambrose in a, last man standing match or no holds barred match or whatever it is. That is going to be great. Now everybody said, they should have had Dean Ambrose go on to face Triple H. You know, we want to see Dean Ambrose have the title. Well, it's always a possibility down the road. I think Dean Ambrose honestly has the bigger fan reaction than Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, in my opinion, I was talking to my buddy, Mr. Trivia from Top Rope Report, and I was telling him that Roman Reigns just got hot at the wrong time. They pushed Roman Reigns at the wrong time. And the reason why I say that is because there's too many idiots out there that really like Daniel Bryan. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't ever want to wish harm on anybody, and I don't want to wish that somebody had to end their career because of an injury, because of, whatever. I definitely don't like that. But, what I also don't like is the fact that the fans stayed behind him. He was out with a neck injury for how long, or a shoulder injury, that he had to forfeit the Intercontinental title. No, I'm sorry. He had to forfeit the world title because of the shoulder injury, that he was going to be out for an extended period of time. But his fan reaction never died down. So when he got eliminated from the Royal Rumble back last year in 2015, okay, he got the biggest reaction, and the fans turned on WWE. Okay, they wanted their GOAT to go on to WrestleMania. They just about hijacked the show when Roman Reigns won. And then The Rock came out, and he couldn't even get a reaction. Philadelphia is a very tough crowd to get a reaction, and don't get me wrong. But at the same time, why, it's like, gone are the days when people could just accept the fact that this is who, they're going to push. Well, it worked with Steve Austin because the fans always wanted to see that dynamic of go beat your boss's face in. Everybody liked it. That's why Austin worked. So they thought, okay, well, let's rehash that a little bit, and let's have Roman Reigns face the Authority and start getting into that Authority mode. And you know what? It worked for a little while. But the problem is, and I've said, and Mr. Trivia and I have talked at length about it, is that the WWE scripts too many of their promos now. Their wrestlers are just always reading scripts for their promos. It's not like it used to be in the Attitude Era, where it was off the cuff, off the top of your head. It was entertaining because it was so real. And it's not like that anymore. Unfortunately, it's not like that anymore. Because of the simple fact of how it is. And Vince wants to have full control over that. It's unfortunate, but true. All right. With that being said, okay, I am extremely pleased with Monday Night Raw. I didn't even watch Monday Night Raw yet. I didn't. I really honestly did not watch Monday Night Raw yet. And the reason why I didn't is because, I just didn't. I haven't watched the Hulu version yet. I was too busy at work to watch Hulu today. So the fact is, I've read the spoilers, I've read the results, and I will get into it right after this next song. It's called Just Close Your Eyes. It's Christian's theme. It's called It's by Story of the Year. It's called Just Close Your Eyes. Here we go, right here on the Sportswire.
If you close your eyes, your life and make your truth reveal. Dreams you never lived and scars never healed. In the darkness, light will take you to the other side. Find me waiting there, you'll see if you just close your eyes. If you just close your eyes. If you just close your eyes. you never live, then scars never heal. In the darkness, light will take you to the other side. Find me waiting there, you'll see if you just close your eyes. Never thought it would be here, so high in the air. This was my unanswered prayer. To find one another, so much wasted time. Out of the darkness, each breath that I take will be mine. If you close your eyes, your life will make your truth reveal. Truth you never lived, and scars never heal. In the darkness, light will take you to the other side. Find me waiting there, you'll see if you just close your eyes. If you just close your eyes. If you just close your eyes.
All right, and that was Just Close Your Eyes, WWE Christian's theme song featuring Story of the Year. All right, so I was talking about WrestleMania or Fastlane, and basically getting into Monday Night Raw. And like I said, I still have not watched Monday Night Raw, so I'm kind of going just based on everybody else's reaction. But Shane O'Mac is back, and Shane McMahon. That was probably the biggest shock that I could have ever. Back last week, and I think I mentioned this on the Sportswire, that the WWE had put out a cryptic tweet saying that The Undertaker was going to be facing somebody who is not on the active roster, not on the WWE's active roster, and boy, oh boy, was this a big thing. It was a huge surprise that Shane O'Mac is back. Because of the simple fact of, I never thought he would be back. I mean, he was doing his own venture. He was running his MMA league or TV network or whatever in China. I never thought I'd ever see him back in the WWE ring again. But Shane McMahon is back, and he interrupted the Vincent J. McMahon Legacy Award, which, no surprise, went to Stephanie McMahon, because she's the boss's daughter. And, amazingly, and Shane interrupted, came back, and then Vince said, well, you know what? Yes, you could have claim in Monday Night Raw. You could control Monday Night Raw. As long as you defeat The Undertaker at WrestleMania in a Hell in a Cell match. And holy cow, I like I said, it's amazing. Okay? The fact of the matter, though, is that I honestly feel that Shane is going to win. And don't call, number one, Shane McMahon has always been a crazy bump taker. He's even crazier than Vince. But, he's always been a crazy bump taker. And honestly, I think The Undertaker is about to wind his career down anyways. And here's, quite honestly, what they're going to set up for is another brand extension. That's right. Another brand extension, which I think is a good thing, because NXT is gaining steam exponentially. Okay? And the fact is, NXT has overtaken Raw and SmackDown in popularity, because you see the same guys on both shows. They should have never ended the brand extension in the first place. Now they're going to go back to it where Shane McMahon is going to control Monday Night Raw and Triple H is going to control SmackDown. And you could keep them separate because of the simple fact that, exactly. Shane will run Raw and Triple H will run SmackDown. And, they're going to have that feud again because Triple H will be able to go in and take NXT talents up as, as much as he sees fit, You're right. Wayne Jones tuning in. Thank you very much. And yes, it will be the Undertaker farewell match. I mean, I've heard rumors that he may be an inductee into the Hall of Fame this year. Like Ric Flair, where he comes in, he goes in ahead of his final match. It's a possibility. The Undertaker's from Texas, and it is a possibility that it could happen. Will it? I don't know. Maybe they'll wait for next year. But after WrestleMania 32 this year, in Dallas on April 3rd, they're going to be doing a brand extension. So, with that being said, I honestly feel that it's going to be getting even better. Because they're finally going to be able to separate the talent and not have the same guys on Raw competing on SmackDown. It'll be, the Raw have their roster, SmackDown will have their roster, and NXT will have their roster. So it'll be like ECW was, only NXT is a lot better because Vince is not running it. Triple H is running NXT on a day-to-day basis, and it's so much better. So much better. It's amazing because, Wayne points out it's a battle of the brother-in-laws, a lot of resentment with Shane. But they've done this before. Back during the McMahon-Helmsley era, back in the late 90s, during the Monday Night Wars, they actually did this where Shane was so... actually, no, I'm sorry. I have to take that back. They did not do it before. They did where Shane had fought Test because they were unhappy that Test had, wanting to marry Stephanie and that whole thing, and then Triple H threw the monkey wrench and everything. But I cannot wait for WrestleMania now. They have to do it right, especially with all the injuries. I saw something posted on Facebook earlier today that they were going to have Brock Lesnar against Lyndon McMahon at WrestleMania. And the sad part is that if anything happens to Dean Ambrose, they probably will have to do that. But quite honestly, I would love to see Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe. That would be interesting. Samoa Joe being the suplex and submission machine that he is, and Brock Lesnar bringing everybody to Suplex City, and the fact that he has the UFC experience would be a phenomenal match. I really would love to book that match. And that would put Samoa Joe even more on the map than he already is. He really hasn't had his big break in WWE yet because he's been on NXT, but he's still got his following. And with having, if he was to fight Brock, woohoo, that would be fantastic. So I cannot wait for that to take place. That brand extension to take place. Whew. Let's see. Any other news and notes from the WWE that I could think of? No other WrestleMania matches are set up yet. Although I have heard that Wade Barrett, like I think I mentioned, Wade Barrett is on his way out. He has notified the WWE that he will not be renewing his contract. And I have to say that his Bad News Barrett gimmick was actually getting over. And I don't know why they pulled it. I thought it was great. They were trying to make him a heel, okay? But he was getting a following, and instead of running with it, they make him King Barrett, King of Bad News. And it's like, why? He was, he's not that great of a worker in the ring, but even with the bullhammer, which is basically just Lex Luger's bionic forearm, he, his his natural charisma just carried that over with, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. That was just absolutely great. Because if you remember Bad News Brown, or for you NWA people, Bad News Allen, Bad News Brown, he barely ever talked. So when they had Bad News Barrett now, and he came up with the hilarious type of stuff that he did, run with it. They're letting the freaking New Day go out and do, I don't know what out there, and they're letting them run with it. Why didn't they let Wade Barrett run with the bad news gimmick? I'll never understand that. I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know. Boy, we got a lot in today. We definitely do. All right, I'm gonna go to my next song, and simply because I want to. No, seriously, this is probably one of my favorite songs right now, and you know, here we go. As a matter of fact, I was just talking about him, and where is it? Where'd it go? I know I have it. There we go. And I was just talking about him. Here's Naughty by Nature with Here Comes the Money. Shane O'Mac's theme right here on the Sportswire.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money,
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Patent pockets. We take the dollar, dollar. Can a damn soul stop it?
Here comes the new kid on the block. Hold on your bets, here's where the buck stops. See, first of all, I'm stepping out on my own. About time I elevated to claim my own throne. Success in my blood, call it homegrown. Puerto Rican testosterone. Power and money got me crazy cocky. No longer need you, Poppy. I know you're mad because you can't stop me. And if you wonder how this player done scooped your honey, I think she smell my cologne, it's called brand new money. Making major moves, man, ain't a damn thing funny. Pimpin' hood rats to Playboy bunnies. They see the... They see it, they see it.
Say what? Money. I'm global dollar, dollar, and roll with about 50. Like to go out smelling fresh and looking spiffy. Don't like clean money, I want my wrist to be filthy. Pops with that retirement fund, I can't tell till I'm 60. So what am I supposed to do? Rollin' through, steady patting them pockets, sell I'm stacking holding too. Ching, ching, bling, bling, catching cash and lump. It's a Toro, get a jacket, I'm selling them out my trunk. Whenever, whatever, it takes to shake down a dollar. Mozo in that direction, wait a minute, holla, holla. All wants to know where they go, where they winning. A Mink and Marshall Monday, smelling just like a mint.
You know, back in the days, they said money is who's all
Money,
nowadays, money is who's the rich tree. Come on.
Now, if you can't see the money, get your eyes clean with Visine. I need 5 things plus 7 digits at a time. Team, I'm chillin'. The best, never worse. See, we never get the pebbles, they got the rocks first. Bank vaults, I'm locking. Ching, ching, we're mocking. I'm rocking. My family Christmas stockings are shocking. Fine women, any weather. Naughty denim and leather. Call it trickin', whatever, son, they get better. I'm one smart cookie, the vet that smacks rookies. My stock's on top, your checks bounce while mine's boogie. Wrist, I must rock it. Chick, stop it, I knock it. Cash looks like I got a gang of fists in my pockets. Fist in my pockets. Fist in my pockets.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money,
All right, and that was Shane O'Mac's theme song. That was Naughty by Nature. Here Comes the Money right here on the Sportswire. And you know, I got to say that I'm having fun today. This is my last ever episode of the Sportswire on Fat Cat Radio, and I went over it in the first part of the show that I could take the hint. You know, Twism seems to be upset that I have branched out on my own. But you know what? Quite honestly, Black Lion Entertainment and Sports Network is going to be so much better, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not trying to be conceited. I'm not trying to be hateful. But I could definitely take the hint. Okay? But, you know, the fact of the matter is, I've had a good run here on Fat Cat Radio. It's just that when there are creative differences in the way that a network needs to go, usually there's always hard feelings when it comes to bands. But, you know, I would have thought that the fact that he and I ran this for the last 7 months or so, when Big Lou passed, I thought, that we would be able to promote each other. But I guess not. I guess not. It hurts that, it does. It hurts that, he failed to tell me the new password, that he deleted me as a friend because I feel that he thinks that I turned my back on him and went with the competition. I never intended the new network, Blackline Entertainment and Sports Network, to be competition. I considered it branching out and furthering Big Lou's dream. But you know what? I'm good. God is good. God has blessed me, which is why, you think about it, BLESN, blessed. Blessing is a blessing. And that's why I think it's absolutely fantastic. I am so getting ready for it. I've got podcasts ready to go. I got people that are going to fill the time slots. I've got so much going on that, yeah, it's bittersweet that tonight's the last night on Fat Cat Radio. But when I look at what's ahead, sky's the limit, man. Sky's the limit. There's going to be a lot of programming for a lot of different people. Okay, not only is Sportswire going to anchor Blessing, but also we're going to have NFL semi-pro football. We're going to have the Connecticut Panthers. Connecticut Panthers are going to have an hour-long weekly show dedicated to the Panthers. The Southern Connecticut Sting have just signed on that they're going to have a weekly show. Brian Knox, my good buddy who I had on the show back during the summer for him to talk about his addiction problems, he's going to have a show trying to help people with addictions. Okay, I've got Ronald Duncan, who I just honestly met. He wanted to do a segment on the Sportswire. He's going to run his own show. It's going to be a late night Friday night show, but it's going to be about sex and sex lifestyles and healthy sex and kinky sex and the lifestyles, of sex. Okay? I'm looking to have a health block hour with Brian's help with addiction, and then Glenn Martin is going to be running a show about, healthy living, exercise, and all that kind of stuff. I'm working on, Dean Wild's going to have an hour to promote Stay Blessed Productions. I'm going to we're going to have shows dedicated to Blackline Entertainment Music Group. We're going to have all kinds of programming that's going to be out there, and they're going to attract the sponsors because it's not going to be the same old thing all the time. You can't tune in at 5 o'clock on Friday and get the same kind of programming you get on 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. It's not going to happen. Not at all. And that's what it boils down to. You need to have variety. And that's what I'm going to have. I've got Yasmin Frink, who's a friend of mine. She's a chef. She's going to put on a radio cooking show. At least I'm pretty sure she'll do it. I mean, I've mentioned it to her and she's excited about it. I've also talked to my friend Jessica Vanderhoof, who I met on Facebook, no less. And she's big into sports. She's going to have her own program. And she'll probably have her boyfriend on it as well. I've got Baby Doll from the Sports Guru show. And no, I don't call her Baby Doll. That's what she calls herself. I've got her. She's going to be doing a show about music. She's branching out. It's about variety, which is why it's going to be a successful network. The Black Lion Entertainment and Sports Network will be the hashtag best in the world, in my opinion. All right. Also, just announced yesterday, The Godfather, Charles Wright, will be the next inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2016. And as a matter of fact, he's going to be in Connecticut at M&J Video Games and Sports Cards and First Base Sports Cards and Collectibles on Center Street in Wallingford. I don't know the date off the top of my head, but it is on Facebook. And, you know, he could get his autograph, and he'll go in as the Godfather, not Papa Shango. But he'll be there along with a whole host of other guys. He'll be there with Tony Atlas, Doink and Dink, and Gilbert. No, not Gilbert. Barry Hardy. Not Gilbert. But, anywho, I think it's going to be a great event. Definitely go out and check it out. All right, so to show some love to the Godfather, we're going to be playing off the WWE Aggression album. This is Ice-T with Pimpin' Ain't Easy, right here on the Sportswire.
Godfather's in the house. Grab your bitches. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Take a look at me, everything I own's iced out. Pimp, baby, you can see my wrist with the lights out. This is how I do it, mad bitches in clothes. Godfather, baby, on the plate to my rolls. Step back, hey, to make a little room for my hoes. Gators on my feet, take a look at my toes. Money is the reason all the real players know that. Godfather lays punks to rest. You got no chance up against the best. I rocks in the east and I rolls in the west. If you don't dig the pimpin', I could really care less. Cause it's pimp or die. Pimp or die, baby. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Come on. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy. Godfather. Hoes start running when they see my car. Even though I'm a pro wrestling star, they know I don't play and I gotta get paid. Everything I wear, baby's tailor-made. I come into your town and go off like a grenade. And anyone who steps on the mat, they get laid. Let me pimp or let me die, that's the game I chose. Condos, speedboats, and beautiful hoes. Cartier wristwear, furs and gold. And mad cash, baby, too much to fold. Cause it's pimp or die, baby. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Grab your bitches. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Big pimpin' jumping off. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Godfather's in the house, bitch. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy. Break yourself, bitch. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't pimp or die, baby. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Grab your bitches. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Big pimpin' jumping off. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man.
All right, that was Pimpin' Ain't Easy by Ice-T off the WWE Aggression album. All right, so we're going to get ready for our final segment of the show. That means it's time for our Dumb Laws of the Day, courtesy of dumblaws.com. We are going to Oklahoma, the state of good old JR, for today's Dumb Laws of the Day. Here we go. One may not promote a horse tripping event. It is illegal. This one's kind of weird, so I'll have to read it slow. It is illegal for the owner of a bar to allow anyone inside to pretend to have sex with a buffalo. Wow. Females are forbidden from doing their own hair without being licensed by the state. I don't understand that. It's statutory rape for a man over 18 to have sex with a female under the age of 18, provided she's a virgin. Well, okay. What about if she's not? Dogs must have a permit signed by the mayor in order to congregate in groups of 3 or more on private property. Yeah, I'm going to have a dog party. Let's go get a permit. Tattoos are banned. Well, that was repealed, effective 11/1/2006. Tattoos are now legal in Oklahoma. Oklahoma will not tolerate anyone taking a bite out of another's hamburger. Where do they come up with this stuff? No one may spit on the sidewalk. It is against the law to read a comic book while operating a motor vehicle. I don't know why you would do that, although I'll get back to that one in just a second. It is illegal to wear your boots to bed. Okay. Whaling is illegal in Oklahoma. I didn't know there were any whales close to Oklahoma. It is illegal to have sex before you're married. It is illegal to have the hind legs of farm animals in your boots. What? Fish may not be contained in fish bowls while on a public bus. Residents are taxed for the furniture in their homes and any other personal belongings. That's even worse in Connecticut. Tissues are not to be found in the back of one's car. People who make ugly faces at dogs may be fined and or jailed. Cars must be tethered outside of public buildings. Wow. Oral sex is a misdemeanor and is punishable by 1 year in jail and a $2,500 fine. That is horrible. Anyone arrested for soliciting a hooker must have their name and picture shown on television. It's crazy. That's just absolutely crazy. All right, let's go. More dumb laws in Oklahoma. Now we're going to the city laws. In Ada, Oklahoma, if you wear New York Jets clothing, you may be put in jail. Wow, that's crazy. In Bartlesville, if one's dog is run over by a car, the owner must pay for the dog's disposal. Okay, that's sad. No person may own more than 2 adult cats. So there's no crazy cat ladies. It is illegal to cause annoying vibrations in the city limits. Okay? Persons may not play catch on any city street. In Clinton, Oklahoma, any person who leans against a public building will be subject to fines. Molesting an automobile is illegal. Wow. In Hawthorne, it is unlawful to put any hypnotized person in a display window. In Moore, it is illegal to drive with a trailer hitch on your vehicle. What if you're towing a trailer? In Oklahoma City, the mayor may not go on strike. While it is legal to serve alcohol in a pool hall, all intoxicated persons must leave the premises. One may not tip over a casket at a funeral. It is illegal to own a stink bomb. No one may walk backwards downtown while eating a hamburger. Like I said, where do they come up with this crap? In shelter, women may not gamble in the nude, in lingerie, or while wearing a towel. In Tulsa, you may not open a bottle of soda, or you may not open a soda bottle without the supervision of a licensed engineer. Wow. Elephants are not able to be taken into the downtown area. Well, what happens when the circus comes around? In Winona, one's mode of transportation must be tied up while not attended. Mules may not drink out of bird baths. Clothes may not be washed in bird baths. Any more? Yes, in the Yukon, Oklahoma, it is illegal to tie a horse in front of City Hall, and while passing another vehicle, you must honk your horn. Folks, I can't make this stuff up. Absolutely craziness. That's all I can say. It's just absolute craziness that that those are there. I mean, but think about it. That means people have had to have done those certain things to get in trouble for those laws to be passed in the first place. Just absolutely crazy. Anyways, you know, I wanted to make a point here, okay? And now everybody knows that I go off on rants all the time, okay? Last month, Desiree, who is my girlfriend, got into a car accident, okay? She was pulling out of her condo complex, and while there's cars on the streets all around her, she had to pull out forward. The person to the right was allowing her to go. The guy coming from the left was speeding and unlicensed and plowed right into her, totaling her car. Luckily, her and her daughters were fine. Okay, that's the first thing. Thank God for that. However, after, you know, she got the ticket. She got the ticket for not allowing the right-of-way because she was coming out of a private driveway. That is just severely screwed up, okay? You know, you play the what-if game all the time, all right? Now, here's the deal. First of all, the kid was unlicensed. He should not have been driving at all. At all. In my opinion, that supersedes everything. The fact that he was on the road illegally, that alone should have put him at fault. No, it doesn't, because she was coming out. Okay? Her both insurance companies agreed that she was at fault because she was coming out of the driveway. Really? You know, it's amazing how people they're not held accountable anymore. They're not. If you're caught driving without a license, you get fined. You get fined. You know, you don't even get, you know, I can understand a fine, but the problem is, that doesn't teach anybody. If you hit somebody with a 60-day jail term for driving unlicensed, maybe then they wouldn't. Maybe then they wouldn't. But nobody's held accountable in this day and age anymore. You know, you talk about, here's the perfect example, okay? Now, everybody knows on this that has been listening to Sportswire, I am a huge Donald Trump fan. I am voting for him in the primary. I am voting for him in the general election. He's going to be the absolute best president this country has ever seen. I see so much garbage on Facebook saying that Donald Trump is a racist. I don't know about you. I have never, ever heard one racist comment about Donald Trump. Ever. I haven't. I have not heard Donald Trump say anything racist. And they bring up about the Mexicans. Because in his very first speech, when he announced he was running for president, he said he was going to send all the illegal Mexicans back to Mexico. And he was going to put up the wall and have Mexico pay for the wall. Okay? What is racist about that? He didn't say he was going to send all Mexicans back to Mexico. He said illegal. The people that are here illegally, that do not have their green cards, that do not have their visas, he's going to send them back to where they came from. That's not racist. That's holding people accountable. The problem is, in this country, in this society, we have grown accustomed to not holding people accountable. You get into an accident, slap on the wrist, here's, $5,000, go get a new car. Even if it's your fault. Or no, I'm sorry, if it's, I mean, if logically an accident is your fault, but legally it's not, you get rewarded. You do. That's exactly what happened in this case. Okay? The kid that hit Desiree was unlicensed. Okay? Unlicensed. And speeding, no less. His mother, it's his mother's car that he was driving unlicensed. She's getting a new car out of it from her insurance company. Desiree is not. Because Desiree is considered 75% at fault. Because she was coming out of a driveway, out of a private driveway. and didn't give this kid the right of way. What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with the cops in Meriden, Connecticut that completely botched this? Hello, you don't have an you don't have a license that supersedes everything. Quite honestly, that is how it should have been. She should get rewarded, get a new car, because this idiot was on the road without a license and should have never been there. And he should be sitting in jail for 2 months because, you know what? Just a month prior, he has another ticket for driving unlicensed for another accident. Hello, what does it take to hold people accountable nowadays? I give up. It's amazing. The fact is, once Donald Trump becomes president, maybe some people will start being held accountable, and it's going to start with the illegal aliens, the illegal immigrants. And that's all there is to it. And on that note, I end my stay with Fat Cat Radio. It's been great. I've channeled Paul Heyman. I've channeled Roddy Piper. But you know what? In the end, it's been me. So I will say it again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are listening to the most electrifying podcast on Fat Cat Radio today. You're listening to the Sportswire, and I am Big Daddy Cool Vinny Apicella. The next time you hear the Sportswire, I will be live on Black Lion Entertainment and Sports Network. And that, my friends, is the bottom line. It's been real Fat Cat Radio, but it's no longer there. Have a great time.